National Savings Bank, Sumanadas Abegunawardena, resigned from his position today. Making a special statement to News First, Abegunawardena stated that although he tried his level best within the board to prevent the share transaction, his efforts failed. Abegunawardena said that he decided to resign from his position as he could no longer continue to work in such a board.
This trade lacks any credibility. I expressed my opposition to this trade in the board. I condemned it and strongly opposed it. On the second occasion too I objected. I objected to this as I felt that this trade lacked credibility. An opinion has arisen among the people of this country that some sort of embezzlement has taken place within the bank. I do not approve of the reputation of the bank, the National Savings Bank, which is the national bank, being affected in any way. Also, we were all appointed by His Excellency the President, and this appointment was made with great trust in us. So if we continue to remain in this institution with the program being followed at the institution at present, then we can no longer maintain that trust placed on us. Sumanadas Abegunawardena also expressed his views regarding the responsibility of the chairman of the NSB over the transaction. I believe that the chairman should have stepped down before me. Because this decision was being delayed, I decided to step down from the board. I cannot serve with him in the board. My opinion is that not only the chairman but the entire board should step down. We believe that this transaction was not done in a transparent and credible manner. I urge the President and the Secretary to the Finance Ministry to conduct an urgent investigation into the matter. Meanwhile, a protest was staged opposite the National Savings Bank head office in Colombo today as well. The protest was organized by a group of employees attached to the bank. The finger has been pointed at the chairman of the bank. He is the one who has been found guilty. He should step down in order for an investigation to be launched. Just because you return the goods after a robbery, that does not mean that the robber can be discharged from carrying out the theft. He has a responsibility to safeguard the reputation of the bank and the president who appointed him. He is from a reputed family. He should safeguard that reputation as well. Meanwhile, experts in the field say that if an individual is rejected by the society he is serving for, he should immediately step down.
The director of the NSB, the National Savings Bank, having understood that there is a financial irregularity in the National Savings Bank, he has had the courage to stand up and resign and go. The main persons involved in these banks and in main positions in this country, when they see these things happening, when they see mass protests, when they see illegal transactions taking place, they still seem to be hanging on to these positions. It is very important to note that the education minister, for instance, the leader of the opposition, for instance, both these persons, there is so much of protest, there is so much of anger against their actions, but they seem to be shamelessly hanging on to these positions. This is the reason this country is not going forward.
In related news, the Securities and Exchange Commission has granted permission for the National Savings Bank to retransfer the finance company shares it purchased to the original sellers. Now, this decision has been taken following a joint request made by the NSB and the stockbroker. It was on the 27th of April that NSB purchased a 13% stake of the finance company PLC for 390 million rupees. However, due to various issues with regard to transparency, the National Savings Bank was compelled to halt payment for the transaction. Meanwhile, Sampath Bank, acting in the capacity of the settlement bank of NSB, had proceeded to make the payment for the purchase of shares. With the intention of reaching a compromise on the issue, the National Savings Bank and the stockbroker in question wrote to the Securities and Exchange Commission on the 11th of this month. Taking these communications into consideration, the Securities and Exchange Commission ordered that the shares be vested with the original owners outside the trading floor of the Colombo Stock Exchange. A statement issued by the SEC notes that it is investigating the transaction and the parties involved in it, and notes that firm action will be taken against all those who are found to have violated the Securities and Exchange Commission Act.
Still in local news, another phase of the war heroes commemoration ceremonies at provincial level was held in Anuradhapura today.
The North Central Province War Heroes commemoration event was organized by the Governor's Office. A group including the North Central Province Governor Karunaratne Dilgani, Chief Minister Berti Premalal Dissanayaka and members of the three armed forces were present at the ceremony that was organized opposite the War Heroes Monument near the Anuradhapura public ground.
Meanwhile, yet another function was organized at the auditorium of the Vaunia Town Hall in remembrance of those who died during the war. Several representatives of the Tamil National Alliance were present at the function. Another ceremony was organized at the Jaffna University to mark the end of the war. Several university students participated in the event.
Meanwhile, the US ambassador in Sri Lanka, Patricia A. Bhutenis, attended a ceremony at a Hindu Kovil in Colombo today. Speaking to News First at the event, Bhutenis expressed these views on tomorrow's Victory Day celebrations.
The ceremony was held at the Selva Vinayagar Kovil in Captain Gardens, Colombo.
So I'll be at the Victory Day parade tomorrow. I went the last 2 years, and I think it's a significant event. It commemorates the end of a terrible war. But each year I've also come to the temple here to participate in a puja as a remembrance, a gesture of mourning and remembrance for all the people who died. It was a terrible tragedy for all of Sri Lanka, and I think it's important that we remember that, myself as a visitor to this country, but also that the citizens of this country can gather quietly according to their religious beliefs and acknowledge the loss of so many people. It really was, the tragedy is larger than just whether soldiers died or terrorists died or whatever, but people died, civilians died, and I think it's very important for everybody to acknowledge that.
The Anavilundawa Sanctuary in Arachikattua has been declared a Ramsar wetland according to the International Ramsar Convention, taking its importance into consideration. Activities harmful to this delicate environment, which has much ecological value, have been taking place over a period of time. This deforestation that had been carried out in broad daylight over the past few weeks can be cited as the latest of these incidents. A group had cut down several valuable trees in the Battuluoya Lelavala Forest Reserve, which comes under the purview of the Arachikattua Divisional Secretariat under the guise of renovating a tank. They started to cut down the trees at around 8:39 in the morning and engaged in the task till evening. It is only 1 or 2 individuals who are involved in this. The Divisional Secretary should look into this. When Action TV inquired from the Arachikattua Divisional Secretary about the deforestation that is taking place, he said that he cannot make a statement to the media as he is not aware of the incident. The Divisional Secretary then phoned a Gramaseva Niladhari in the area and inquired about the incident in front of Action TV. These trees are being cut down owing to the needs of a politician and not with the approval of the AG or the Pradeshya Sabha. These trees must be protected. This is being carried out using political power. Any person who visits this area will be able to uncover information pertaining to a timber racket that has been carried out for a long time. Therefore, in such a backdrop, it is astonishing to note that the relevant authorities seem to be in the dark about what is taking place. Furthermore, there is no assurance that there will be no impact on the Anavilundawa Sanctuary as well as the internationally recognized Ramsar wetland as a result of the deforestation that is taking place on its border. Shouldn't attention be paid to this before it is too late? Puttalam District Secretary, this is over to you.
Now, police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohana says that investigations have commenced into the attack on a student council secretary of the Jaffna University, Paramalingam Darshanand. According to our correspondent, Darshanand had been attacked by 4 individuals who had arrived on 2 motorbikes at the Kalati junction in Jaffna at around 8:15 a.m. when he was on his way to the university. Now, Darshanand, who suffered injuries to his head and hand, was admitted to the Jaffna Base Hospital. A spokesperson at the Jaffna Base Hospital said that he is currently receiving treatment at the hospital. Meanwhile, a demonstration was organized by the Jaffna University students this afternoon to protest against the incident. The demonstrators demanded that the safety of the university students be ensured. Meanwhile, political party representatives condemned the attack carried out on the Jaffna University student.
The Jaffna University Student Council Secretary Paramalingam Darshanand attack is concerned, our party and myself, we strongly condemn this kind of activities. Earlier also there are several occasions I seen the Jaffna University Student Council Secretary and the President was attacked, but so far nobody was arrested. This is encouraging people who are doing this kind of undemocratic manner to treat the people. These Jaffna University students, their activities, then their feelings, they are everything, they are celebrating or they are talking or they are having meeting inside the university premises. But if we are not allowing Jaffna University students for even that, they are not bringing march, they are not doing a picketing. So even if you are not allowing those kind of things inside the university, so what kind of democratic prevailing in the Jaffna district? And what kind of democratic system for the Tamil speaking people to live in this country? Definitely they should bring this culprit behind the bars.
I vehemently condemn the attack carried out on Paramalingam Darshanand. Those who are responsible for the incident should be apprehended and punished as soon as possible.
Good evening and welcome to Sports First. I'm Kaushi Vijaysekhar. First up in some rugby news, Royal College Colombo beat St. Joseph's College Colombo 37 points to 34 in a thrilling inter-school A Division Rugby League match. The match was played at the CRNFC grounds in Colombo. The first half ended 22-all. However, Royal College managed to score a last-minute try, adding 15 points in the second half, while the Josephians managed only 12. Thereby, the Royalists won the match 37 points to 34. The controversy surrounding Season 5 of the Indian Premier League seemed to continue. In the latest incident, Australian cricketer Luke Pommersbach of the Royal Challengers Bangalore has been charged with molesting a woman and assaulting her fiancé at a hotel in Delhi, India. Pommersbach was arrested this morning. He denied all charges in court and was granted bail.
27-year-old Luke Pommersbach was alleged to have molested a woman and physically attacked her male friend in a city hotel during a party after Pommersbach's Royal Challengers Bangalore beat Delhi Daredevils in an Indian Premier League match yesterday. Police registered a criminal case against the arrested Australian cricketer. Distancing himself away from the controversy, IPL chairperson Rajiv Shukla said law would take its own course in the case and that the league was not responsible for an individual's behaviour off the field.
No, we are not responsible for the behavior of individuals in the hotel, what they are doing. Let law take its own course. Let police action it. So what somebody is doing in some hotel, IPL is not hosting any party. There is no official party of IPL. IPL had already, done away with this concept of having party. So we are not hosting any party.
And on that note, we wrap up this edition of News First Primetime News. As always, if you want to read up on any of the stories that we aired tonight, simply log on to www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara.
And I'm Punchani Abelsinga. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night. Take care.
NTV